Hey everybody, Tony here, and tonight I was in for a treat because I saw one of my most favorite dramatic baritones of all time, Dmitri Hvorostovsky, performing live at the Konzerthaus Gendarmenmarkt. For those of you not in the know, Dmitri Hvorostovsky is a Russian baritone who usually specializes in the operas by Verdi and Bizet, and a lot of the other great Italian, French, and Russian composers in general. And critics praise him for having such a voluminous, seductive, and dark quality to his voice, not to mention powerful. And they also praise his acting abilities, and not to mention his dashing good looks, which obviously has attracted a lot of fans. So, yeah, he's absolutely placed himself as a very well respected and well loved dramatic baritone because of those major assets that he has as a performer and as a person. And my first experience with Dmitri Hvorostovsky started out when I was about 9 or 10, when I listened to his rendition of Giorgio Germont's aria Di Provenza il Mar from La Traviata. And I really had to say that his voice was absolutely elegant. It had that Slavic tone, and it was also quite Italian as well. I mean, I automatically fell in love with his voice. And when I was a teenager, I really watched a lot of his videos on YouTube, whether it's his performances of Rigoletto or even the Count Luna from Trovatore. And I've even seen some excerpts of his concerts. And I really have to say that he is such a convincing singer and actor. And tonight's concert was really, really great in showing just how powerful of a performer he really is. And the one who accompanied him on the piano was someone I've never really heard of before by the name of Ibari Ilya. I have to say that he did such an amazing job being very focused on all of the notes and especially um, really being such a great source of accompaniment to Mr. Hodorostovsky for the evening. And I really have to say, Mr. Ilya did such an amazing job playing the piano, and it was also as believable as Hodorostovsky's singing. And I really have to say, it was such a great evening, and what more can I ask for with such a magnificent baritone like Dmitri Hvorostovsky? And the songs that he sang were mostly Russian songs, with the exception of three songs composed by Franz Liszt, which he sang in Italian. The first three songs that he sang by the great Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky were In the Sleeping Time, Night, and Wild Nights. And the first three songs had such a morose and somber quality to it. And I felt that Mr. Hodorostovsky displayed that really, really well. And also kudos to Mr. Ilya, who really conveyed the music well. But as I've also noticed, there was this one little incident in which someone from the audience photographed him. Dima, as the fans call him, caught him, and he basically shook his head and got his attention by uh, giving giving this little hand signal and telling him in German, you should not photograph while someone is singing. You should know that by now. And we, the audience, ended up clapping for him. Um, Dima, of course, and he proceeded to sing the next song, Night. So, yeah, that was pretty much one thing that was quite uncalled for, but still, what can you do? That really shows you that whenever you attend a concert like this, and whenever there are two people saying you should not record, then don't do it. Well, now that that little rant is out of the way, let's move on to the Serenade of Don Juan, which, compared to the first three songs, was more lively. It had a little bit more frisson to it. And it was just absolutely gorgeous to listen to because it was lively, it was so full of energy, and like I said, it had this certain frisson to it. And then the next songs that he sang were by Modest Mussorgsky, very well known in composing the opera Boris Godunov. And he sang songs and dances of death. The first one was Schlaflied, which was quite morose, but then grew into something a little bit more powerful and then back to its morose quality. It's quite similar to the next three entries, Serenade, Trepak, and the Field Marshal. It had these um, somber qualities, yet at the same time, there's a little bit of power in certain passages, and you could really hear that type of desperation and anger and that longing to be free from death. You could really hear that in both Hvorostovsky's voice and Ilya's playing of the piano. You could really hear that. And then we have the three songs by Franz Liszt, Pace non trovo, Benedetto sia il giorno, and I vivi intera. They were all sung beautifully, and it had that certain melodrama to it. They were all just sung gorgeously and heavenly. And finally, we have seven songs by Rachmaninoff, which I felt were just absolutely gorgeous and also powerful as well. All thanks to Dima's great singing. I mean, he really attacked those high notes with such finesse, and just hearing those high notes, those high Fs, high uh, G flats, high Gs were just thrilling. And it really shows just how much of a great artist this man really is. I mean, it really shows that he's very disciplined in his craft. He is a great gentleman, and he definitely has class as both a singer and as a gentleman. And the audience really, really loved him. I especially loved him too, that he ended up coming back on the stage with Mr. Ilya, where he sang Iago's Credo. And I was just wowed because, let's face it, the Credo from Iago has to be one of my most favorite arias from Verdi's opera Otello. It really is such a great number for any baritone to sing because it really shows Iago as this despicable and vile person and how he likes to be such a complete asshole towards everyone, especially that of Otello and Desdemona, but mostly Otello and Cassio and Roderigo. It just really shows you how much of an asshole he can be. And Dima did it really beautifully. I mean, I especially loved that trademark cackle that he gave at the end of the aria. That was just amazing. And the moment when the first chords ended up being played on the piano, I was well, just blown away. I was really glued to my seat and really awed by how much finesse and energy Dima gave in performing such a wonderful aria. And finally, as part of his second encore number, he sang a Russian folk song. I don't know the name of it, but he sang it really beautifully, and I really loved how he ended up going into these diminuendo notes. They were just heavenly. And like I said, it was such a great evening to see Dima perform. And what more can I ask for such an awesome baritone like him? I mean, he was just amazing. And it really shows that after many years of performing here and there, he still has it and he still has his trademark powerful baritone voice. And the audience, especially me, we all loved him. And we were just going crazy for him, really. And to really be honest, I mean, the members of the audience in the front row gave him not one, not two, but like four bouquets of flowers. And then there was this lady who gave him a bag of treats along with a coffee mug, and that was just really sweet. I mean, it just really shows how much we all love Dima, and me personally, I really wish him the best in his career, and I really hope that he will continue to give us such wonderful singing. And just to give you all an update, I'll be seeing Vivaldi's Four Seasons on Valentine's Day, so look out for that. This will probably be my Valentine's Day review. However, on a more somber note, this review is also dedicated to three people who passed away recently. One, by the name of JewWario, aka Justin Carmichael. Two, Gerd Albrecht, who is a German composer. And three, who passed away today, Shirley Temple. It's really sad losing such great people. I mean, losing such a great reviewer, a great conductor, and a great child actress turned politician. It still um, haunts me, and I still mourn for all of them to this very day. And I know I was quite late to give my thoughts on Justin Carmichael's passing, but I really pray that he will be in heaven, and I personally pray for his family. I'm sure that Justin or JewWario is in a better place right now. I'm sure that God has welcomed him to his heavenly abode, and I know it was really uncalled for to what happened to JewWario, and the same thing to Gerd Albrecht, but his case is much different. He passed away due to old age, and the same thing with Shirley Temple. So, to all of these three great people, may you all rest in peace, and to their families too, they will all be in my prayers as well. Well, that's all for now. Stay tuned for my Valentine's Day review of Vivaldi's Four Seasons, which will be live at the Französische Dom. Until then, this is Antoni signing off and wishing you all a good night.